I've been using this little locking system right here. It's pretty good. If you guys know of any better ones though, let me know in the comments. It's a little bit clunky because of the two separate pieces. Alright, ready to go. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Man, I want Taco Bell. It's been too many moons. But today, what are we talking about today? I want to talk to you guys about having an e-bike and living off-grid. Now, disclaimer, I do not live off-grid, although I aspire to live off-grid. I do a lot of research, and hopefully one day in the near future, I will be a van liver. My goal is to buy a van, convert it to an RV, and be a hashtag van lifer. That is a big truck. And when it comes to RVs, e-bikes are actually very popular within that crowd because it makes a lot of sense. If you're going to be living in a vehicle, you don't really want to be driving it everywhere because you have to bring your entire house with you. See, a van like that. But yeah, those vehicles, you know, that one right there doesn't get great gas mileage. So an e-bike as a secondary mode of transportation, plus just a lot of fun. Oh, he's also going the same direction as me. And this video was meant to be, apparently, another van. Yeah, we got all kinds of vans. Okay, so like I was saying, e-bikes, way more fuel efficient, and they're fun, so it makes a lot of sense to pair it with a on-the-road, van life, off-grid existence. The only issue or area of conflict or friction is power management. That's a huge thing when living off grid because usually you have some kind of solar system and a battery. And e-bikes, of course, are a huge power draw, right? This battery is massive, and to charge it up, it's going to take a lot of power. So I just want to share the research that I've been doing with you guys because I think this is feasible, and eventually, hopefully, I'm going to be vlogging all of this when I finally pull the trigger and start doing my own van build. So when it comes to power systems, there's two schools of thought. You can make your own power system, so you buy individual batteries, you wire them up together, you get a fuse panel, and you do it all manually. The other way is to go on Amazon and buy I think they're called solar generators, and they're just portable power banks with DC and AC power outlets, and you can charge them up usually three ways: through an AC outlet, so you know, the standard house outlet, a vehicle, so a 12-volt DC charger, and solar panels. Okay, bro. What is this guy doing? The biggest risk when riding a bike is known as the right hook. It's when you're behind a vehicle, they don't see you, and they turn right into you. But like I was saying, those are the two power options you have. And personally, I think I'm going to go with the solar generator because it's modular, it's all put together. You could easily take it in and out of the van, and it's just more versatile, in my opinion, than having a bunch of massive batteries under a seat all wired together. And in particular, the one I'm looking at is from EcoFlow, so it's not going to be the Jackery. I believe the Jackery is like the most popular, but it's also pretty basic, and I'm not a basic guy. So the EcoFlow looks to be very nice. It's a bit newer, has all the new modern features. When it comes to the charging outlets on it, it has two USB Type-Cs on them that have 100-watt output, which is pretty nice. So it's very modern, has all the stuff I need, and I think I'm gonna go with the, what's it called, like the Delta Pro. And that one, it's around like $1,200, and the capacity is around 1,200 watt hours. And they currently have a bundle you can buy that has two 160 watt solar panels included. So that means you have a total of 320 watts of solar along with that battery. And that's a pretty awesome power system. That's going to be able to handle most of your everyday needs. Now the only issue and question is, what about the e-bike? Can that charge the e-bike? So when it comes to my battery pack, this is very large because this is a high performance e-bike. So this is 72 volts, 20 amp hours, and to get the capacity, you just multiply those together. So I believe that comes out to about 1400 watt hours of capacity this battery has, which is slightly more than that massive solar generator battery. Should I run this red light? I'm doing it. Okay, so even though this battery is a bit more, I think it could still work. Because as I mentioned, the solar is going to be one of the major inputs, as well as the 12 volt DC connection from the car charger. But focusing just on the solar panels of 320 watts, let's just round it down to 300 watts. That means it could charge the entire battery pack in about 4 hours. Of course, that's assuming ideal conditions, so say 5 hours in real life. And when it comes to this battery, I never fully deplete this, so it's usually charging 40-50% at a time. So it's definitely going to be a huge draw on the solar generator, but I think it's doable, especially if you break it up and you do it incrementally throughout the day. I really don't think it's going to be a huge issue. Now, the bigger issue in this whole situation is that it's going to be charging inefficiently because the power coming into the solar generator is going to be DC power, and the battery, of course, on the solar generator is a DC battery, and then you have to run an inverter to bump it up to AC, and then the charger to put it into this battery converts it back to DC. So there's a lot of energy loss in that conversion process, and it's a little bit redundant. In fact, it's a lot redundant and it's unnecessary. But it does work, and it is the easiest way, and as mentioned, I think it's doable. The other option you have is to use a solar panel and charge this battery directly. And the only thing you need to do that, besides, of course, the battery and the solar panel, is a charge controller in between the solar panel and this generator, or this battery pack, excuse me. I hate traffic. But if I'm being honest with you guys, I haven't found the perfect charge controller in order to plug a solar panel directly into this e-bike battery. I'm gonna go. Oh, I know they're out there. I've seen a few videos on this topic, so I know it's completely doable. They're just not super popular devices, and it's kind of hard to find the exact right match for the system that you have, because each system and voltage is a little bit different. But that's another way you have. You could directly charge your e-bike with solar panels. And that's a pretty cool concept. It'll be the most efficient way because you're not converting it from DC to AC back to DC. But tying this back to living off grid, I think if you have both of these power options, you have a dedicated solar generator that you could use most of the time, let's be real, even though it's going to be less efficient. Plus you have the option to directly charge your e-bike with solar panels with that right charge controller. I think then living off grid with an e-bike is completely feasible. And that's especially true if you have like an actual run-of-the-mill e-bike and not a custom super high-powered e-bike like myself that has an enormous battery on it. Ooh, my bike lock is... Oh no, let me stop here. Yep, my bike lock was about to fall off. Okay, there we go. Crisis averted, hopefully. Alright, but like I was saying, I think it's completely worth it. It's definitely going to be a pain in the ass and a big power draw, but I think living off grid and living in an RV, van life kind of a thing, I think it's completely worth it because of the advantages I listed off in the beginning. So it's way more efficient than driving your house around everywhere when you want to go to the food store or do random things around town. It's way more efficient to be riding the bike instead, and it's fun. You're going to want a hobby when living on the road and traveling around. And I think it's an awesome match. And in terms of charging it up between the solar generator and the direct charging with solar panels and a charge controller, I don't know, I think it's doable. If any of you guys have experience with this, leave a comment, let us know. Now, not to mention, another option you have if you're going to be living in a van or an RV is something like a one-wheel that is going to give you a lot of the same utility as an e-bike, but it's way more portable and it uses a lot less battery. And something like that, you would have no issue running off of a solar generator. So you also have something like that to keep in mind. I'm just a e-bike boy. Oh, you know what we could do? There's a trail right here. Where is the trail? Where is the trail? It's right there. I'm missing the trail. There's no entrance. Oh man. this an entrance? Kinda, I'm gonna take it. There we go, look at this trail. Squirrel. Whoo! This is more fun than the road. Ugh. There we go. Hey, look at all this nature. Man. So beautiful. Oh, going too fast on this. And like that, it's over. Okay, well, I missed most of it, but it was fun. Now I'm just about to hit 1,250 miles on this e-bike. And I think it's about time I change my back tire because these are knobby tires. I ride them on the road most of the time. And the front tire is okay, but the back one, it's completely bald, at least in the middle. I mean, it's okay, but I think it just increases my odds of getting a flat because there's less material. Cruising now, just hit 35 miles an hour. I usually go around 25 miles an hour, especially in these commutes. That's just a pretty good speed, it's efficient, it's fast enough. But when I get to a fun little bit like this, I like to lean a lot more, go a bit faster. Just have some fun, man. That's what it's all about. Keep up with this Honda Civic. Alright, but I think that's going to do it for me in this video. And if you like the content, guys, definitely subscribe. And hopefully soon this becomes a van building and van life channel with e-bikes. That's the goal. Soon. Because I think it is feasible. So I'm going to go now, but I'm going to keep the GoPro rolling for a little bit. Make a little bit of a montage. And I'll see you guys in the next one.